the subject on my mind is, what is hypnotherapy? What the heck is it? Why do we need it? Why would we want to use it? Is it mind control? What's up? So, first and foremost, let me introduce myself. I'm Jessie. I am a clinical hypnotherapist and I'm also a licensed cosmetologist. I am currently in school studying transpersonal psychology and will be finished in 2025. So, the point of this page, honestly, was for me to practice hypnotherapy, practice on people that I don't know, practice on all kinds of presenting issues, but also to inform the world, as many people as possible, inform people of what hypnosis is and why it's super important for you to know how it works, what it is, and kind of how to use it for your benefit. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about that today. I would love if you became one of my subscribers, because as you can see, I might have like one or two right now. But I hope to keep this page going. And, I'm an elder millennial, so there are arguments that I shouldn't be on YouTube, but I think there's space for me. So, okay. So, what is hypnosis? Basically, hypnosis is just a narrow state of focus or concentration. So, let me give you some examples. Have you ever been driving in your car and you are completely engrossed in your podcast, right? Or your favorite song or whatever it is. And you're like, oh my gosh, I love what they're talking about. I'm so connected. And you're really focused in on your song, your podcast, whatever it is that you're listening to. And you blow right past your exit. And you're like, wait, where am I? Like, wait, what the heck just happened? That was a moment of hypnosis. Or when you've driven home, same driving situation, you've driven home and you didn't even remember driving home, hypnosis. When you are scrolling on social media, right? And look, your finger and your eyes are going up and down, which is actually a part of hypnosis. It's an induction. It's something in hypnotherapy called an eye fascination that induces a hypnotic state. So that's social media, right? And then bam, you're hit with this ad of like the cutest, like, I don't know, jumper or pair of shoes or whatever it is. And you're like, oh my God, those are so cute. I need that right now. And you click on the ad, whether you buy it or not, you're looking at it. That scrolling, your eyes moving, and that ad coming up was a very deep and very profound moment of hypnosis. The media people know what they're doing. Okay. They know. Subliminal messages. Like, I like to call myself the subliminal stylist, because subliminal messages are something that I feel like hairstylists have been working with for a really long time. Whether it be a hairstylist has to kind of decode what the client is asking for, or gently place suggestions into the person's mind that might be better suited for them, rather than us just saying flat out no as a hairstylist, right? No, you can't get that because you don't have the right hair texture or the right facial shape or whatever it is. Like, we try to create more like softer situations of like, well, maybe this would work for you instead, right? Those are kind of subliminal messages. We're always doing it. All of us are doing it, and we're all receiving it all the time. But we don't talk about it, and we don't really note that it's happening. So oftentimes we're being hypnotized or even hypnotizing other people without consent, kind of. So, and it can sound a little weird and yucky, but I'm telling you these things because I think it's really important for you to know how susceptible one can be. We call that in the hypnotherapy world suggestible. Okay. So now, as a hypnotherapist, I obviously want you to be suggestible to hypnotherapy, because when you're coming in with a presenting issue that is providing you with discomfort. And as a hypnotherapist, our number one goal is to work with your symptoms to create an atmosphere for you that is much more comfortable in your everyday life. So if you're having a hard time sleeping, if you're having a hard time staying on track with your with like healthy foods or exercising or even enjoyment, any kind of like fun in your life, literally, and you can be hypnotized for anything. But the whole point is for you to be suggestible to new and positive ideas. But what we don't realize is that in this current world of constant stimulation, overstimulation, an overwhelm of what we call in the hypnotherapy world message units, which is basically just information, right? We're overloaded and bombarded with all of these things all of the time. And an overload of message units actually makes you more susceptible or more suggestible to almost everything around you. So in this day and age, everyone is so much more receptive to messages that they might not normally be receptive to. So my hopes in this page is to educate people and to create some awareness around when you are actually in a hypnotic state, which is multiple times a day. So hypnotherapy or hypnotic states are actually super normal and natural. Again, we go into hypnosis every single night before we go to bed. That's everyone goes into hypnosis right before they go to bed. When you're in a movie theater and you're completely suspended by reality and you're like, you know what's on the screen isn't real, but your body still responds to it. Like if it's a really scary moment or a sad moment, you can actually feel those emotions in your body, even though it's really not happening. So you're suggestible to those messages in that moment, right? That's a moment of hypnosis. So when you're actually in like hypnotherapy and you're being hypnotized by a hypnotherapist, it feels actually really natural in the body and normal because you've done it so many times before and probably so many times in that same day. So, it's not anything to be nervous about. So, what hypnosis does is it helps to quiet the critical part of our mind. It helps to soften it and make it a little bit more malleable so that we can be more receptive to positive changes and suggestions to positive changes in our life. We're working in hypnotherapy with the subconscious mind, which is actually 88% of our mind. And when we're working inside of the subconscious, we're in a relaxed state of mind. We're very, very comfortable in our bodies. We're feeling tranquility and calmness. And in that state, we're creating different brain waves. And in those shifting brain waves, we become much more receptive to positive changes. So that's a very quick and easy explanation of hypnotherapy. And in later videos, I'll kind of go in deeper and really explain to you all the different parts of the brain and kind of how it's working, which I find really fascinating. But for today, I think this is going to be a really simple, easy, understandable, accessible way to understand hypnotherapy. So some other things to be mindful of is that you're going to hear in hypnotherapy deep sleep, right? You've probably seen it on Get Out, or right? It's like ding, ding, deep sleep, boom, you're hypnotized. So you will hear some of that stuff in hypnotherapy. And actually, we do use the words deep sleep. That is not the same kind of sleep we're talking about. We're talking about hypnotic sleep, which is subconscious sleep. It's just a deep relaxation. In this relaxed state, you're actually hyper aware. Like you could be so aware that you're like, I feel like I can feel my heart beating, like I can feel my breath, I can feel like the temperature all around my body. Like you are hyper aware of the moment and of the situation and where you are and all of the sounds around you, because oftentimes we don't calm our bodies down in that way that often. So when you are that calm and that peaceful, you're actually really, really aware of all of the things that are going on around you. Which then brings me to my next point, which is that you can never get stuck in hypnosis ever, and you are not doing or saying anything that you wouldn't normally do or say, because we're working in a clinical capacity, not stage hypnosis, which is what you mostly see like when you go to the Ren Fair or something like that. Okay. So you won't do or say anything that is outside of the norm. So you don't need to be worried about any of that when you're working in hypnotherapy clinically. You can't get stuck in hypnosis. You can hear, like I said, everything around you. And oftentimes when I'm in a session with one of my clients, I tell them to tune into the sounds around you, tune into the environment and the energy and the temperature around you. And that will always remind you that you have a tether to this room, to your body. You're always here. You're here in this space with me, and you're safe. So you can't get stuck, right? You won't do or say anything against your will. It is not a truth serum. It's just not the way that it works. And some people actually question if they're even hypnotized or not. Like, they're so aware of the moment. They're like, am I even being hypnotized right now? Like, this just feels like my eyes are closed and I'm relaxed. That's perfect. That's where we want you to be. Hypnosis feels different for everyone. Some people really, really feel it in their body. Some people feel it more in their mind. Some people can visualize and imagine. Some people can't. So we basically we test you. We give you a couple of different tests to see what your learning type is and how you receive information. And with that information, what we do is we customize a script in a sense, to speak to you and to your subconscious mind to allow these new positive suggestions to come into your subconscious mind, so that you're starting to pave a different roadway for yourself. When you have this habit and you become aware of this habit, it's a bad habit. We're going to say it's a habit that you don't like, right? Smoking. Okay. At this point, everyone knows smoking is not good, right? It's just not. So let's say you have a habit of smoking. In your conscious mind, in your conscious awareness, you know that smoking is not good. But for whatever reason, you continue to smoke. It should be as simple as, I know it's bad. I should stop doing it. Done. Period. If that were the case, the world would be so much simpler. But that is not the case, because there's something in the subconscious mind that relates smoking to something positive. Whether it's, when I smoke, I feel less stressed, or when I smoke, I'm feeling more social, whatever it is. In the subconscious mind, there has been kind of a mix up where we have seen this negative pattern or negative habit as something positive. Hypnosis helps go into the subconscious mind and create integrity, right? Where the conscious mind and the subconscious mind agree now, rather than doing something incongruent. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm like I said, I'm going to talk so much more about this on this page. So if this is like piquing your interest and you're a little fascinated and you want to learn more, you're in the right place. So some other things about hypnotherapy. Your mind might wander. You might be thinking about your laundry. You might be thinking, I don't know, is this even real? Is this even happening? All of that stuff is totally fine and normal. Your subconscious will always know to come back to the hypnotherapist's voice, because we are your guide. And whatever your conscious mind is doing, honestly, is kind of irrelevant, because we're there to speak to your subconscious mind anyway. So it's fine if your mind wanders. It's no big deal. There's really nothing that you can do to hinder the process except for not participate, because hypnosis is a collaborative process. It is not done to you, it's kind of done with you. So the only way that hypnosis can't work is if you don't want it to work and if you don't collaborate with the process, which is kind of cool, because that's a protective mechanism for you. If you don't see results and hypnotherapy isn't working for you, then there might be something down there that's not really feeling safe or not allowing you to participate in the hypnotherapy process. And we can even work with that. How do you participate? It's super simple. It is just to allow yourself to open your imaginal space, open up your imagination. allow yourself to feel creative, allow yourself to be guided on a journey of imagery. Just allow yourself to play, because inside of your subconscious mind is kind of a pipeline to all of the parts of your mind. And the only way that we can get to all of the parts of your mind is through your imagination. I mean, how often in our lives as adults do we really allow ourselves to pretend or to play or to get creative? Not very often. But when we get creative, if you're an artist, you know this. When you do allow yourself to get creative, where do you go? Into the flow state. That flow state, mwah. So, with your active participation, we work with your symptoms first. So, in therapy, like cognitive therapy, which is also very important, by the way, they like to work with kind of what the root cause is. In hypnotherapy, we work opposite. We work with the symptoms first. And then if we start kind of getting down to more of a root cause, then we start working on the root cause. But that's after many sessions and a lot of rapport with your hypnotherapist. We like to think of it kind of more like if the person is feeling better, maybe they are better. There are some things that we can't work on. And those will be in upcoming videos. If it is outside of our scope, oftentimes hypnotherapists have a ton of resources, whether it be meetings, groups, other therapists like mental health therapists, like rehabs or whatever it is that you might be in need of. Oftentimes hypnotherapists have a great big network of people that they can connect you with if hypnotherapy doesn't end up being a fit. However, it's very, very rare that hypnotherapy is not a fit. We can work on profound topics, almost anything. So my idea is to bring to you everything I'm learning in school and bring you on my journey with me, because I think it's going to be really cool and fun. And I don't know, I'm fascinated by it. So, and I feel like I can talk about it all the time. So I would love your engagement. I want to hear your questions. Reach out to me through comments and message me. And I want to know, maybe I'll even have you on the page, and maybe we could do hypnotherapy together and show our people and show our community what it looks like to actually do a hypnotherapy session. That's it for me today. And I am so grateful to have you here. Thank you so much for listening this far. You've been amazing. And have a wonderful day. Bye.